Welcome back to Mystic Like My Mama, a podcast presented by Ask Penjie. I'm Isabella, and this is my mama, Tina, and we are a mother-daughter duo and the co-founders of Ask Penjie. In this show, we'll talk about accessing your intuition and how we integrate ancient wisdom into our modern lives. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
So, what did you want to tell me
Episode
first?
16?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. I'm gonna light a little candle while we talk and say hi.
Oh, I love it.
It's
Set the
just like a
mood.
little white candle with just essential oils and a lead-free wick. And I'm just gonna light it for all of us to set an intention for this
Wait,
episode.
why does it matter that it's like lead-free and with essential oils?
Because first of all, candles are some of the most toxic items that you can find in your house. A lot of people say they have allergies or problems breathing or things like that, but you do not want to have artificial scents throughout your home because it can really affect us, our breathing,
Mm-hmm.
of our lungs, our nose, everything. So it's very, very toxic. It's full of chemicals. And then when you light it, a lot of candles have lead in the wick. So
Wow.
it's like burning off into the room. Yeah. So it's something to learn about, something I learned about years ago.
That's a
Um,
nice little like tip because it's such a sneaky thing that everyone has and you wouldn't think.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, I'm so sensitive to it that if I go to some like a place that has like scented candles, like it bothers me right away.
Yeah.
Like my
You can
breathing and
tell.
everything like that. So I can't even be around it. So I just thought this is something you can do to kind of like change the energy or set an intention. And I like to like light a candle and you don't even have to keep it lit. You can just light the candle. This one has a cover, so I can
Mm.
put it out and then just have an intention. We're going to have an intention for a great show, a great episode, sending good energy, and then blow it out. Ready?
Yay, make a wish.
And then I just cover it and there you go. That's
Perfect.
something you can do to kind of like bring some light into the room to kind of change the energy a little bit and
It
help you
always
set.
brings some movement whenever you're working with the elements, water, fire, air.
Yes.
Little movement, feng shui.
So you and I have been so crazy busy that
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to share with everyone what we kind of have been doing to, calm down and relax our nervous systems. One of the things we've been doing since you were little is watching Giada.
Mm-hmm.
So Giada used to be famous on the Food Network, and I think many people know her for her Italian cooking and things like that. And she was just always very special to our heart, you know. We always used to watch when you guys were little, and then so recently when we were kind of stressed, we found it. What did we were we watching it on YouTube?
We revisited, we
Yes.
refound about it. Now she does her own videos on
Mhm.
YouTube and she has a YouTube channel and
Yeah, it's really cute. She often has her like, her boyfriend, and then she has her daughter, and then it's just really cool. It's cool. She tells lots of stories, so we get to learn about her business and what she does, and it's just so
it's
relaxing.
so
And
relaxing. Take your mind off of it. She's somebody who's always been so grounding and calming to us. Like the practice of whenever we'd like sometimes before bed we'd watch like, her cooking videos or anything. So
hmm
I don't even know how we thought. Like we haven't watched Food Network in so long.
yeah,
I mean,
well, a lot
here
of
and
our
there.
Food Network
Here and
stars
there.
are gone now.
Yeah, it's so
They have
different.
their own like platforms and things like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, we started
But
watching
here
it
and there, but
again.
yeah, it was good. I'm so glad we
Yeah.
pulled it up.
It was a really good stress reliever. And then the thing that I really like about it, I don't know, it's just so calming and then familiar. But I wanted to tell you, even when you guys were growing up, whenever I was working, people don't know, but Daddy and I had our own business making video games. And sometimes I would be really nervous for like a client call or something like that. And I do this all the time actually. But when you guys were little, I used to just have Giada on mute, like in the room. And it just sort of like humanized everything for me because
Yeah.
I would be talking to someone, I would be kind of like scared of the conversation or just feeling a little anxious, or maybe I'm sensitive to the energy of the person I'm talking to. And it would relax me and like calm my nervous system just to have it on because I'm like, everybody eats and it's just cooking and like, we're just human to human. And it was just like, I don't know, it's really cool. So I love
No,
that.
it's so good. I think that's something people can relate to so much now because people always have YouTube or blog. They want just to have that feeling of like having voices around and
Or
people,
something comforting.
yeah,
Yeah.
something
I mean,
comforting.
we could do that too. I had it on mute, but also
Oh,
you found that other channel. You found something with like ambient music or
oh
something.
yeah. room
Yeah.
ambiance. It's like a cute little something and then
Yeah.
visualizer and then it plays music. But I
Yeah, that
love
was
Rada
cool.
so much. It's so fun to watch her and it's so cool to see how I mean, everybody's had to do it involved with the times, but it's so cool how everyone's becoming their own, business and it's so cool to watch her like thrive in this new way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, I love it. So I do am I doing the cards or are you doing the cards?
I'm gonna do, should I do
Okay,
it?
you do it.
Well, I chose a deck. You could decide if you do the
No, no,
card.
no, you do it.
Or we could do one card from each.
Okay. No,
Okay,
no, no, you do it. You do it.
no, 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 you.
No,
Okay.
no, 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 no.
Well, that's so weird. I don't know why. I wasn't sure who was doing it, but I chose this deck called Messages from the Guides.
Mm-hmm.
It's for people that can't see because I just held it up. It's by James von Prague. He's an amazing psychic medium who I've actually studied with in the past. And so I thought we would do his deck. Oh my God, you
Let's
know
do
what's
it.
funny? I
What?
actually chose two and I randomly though, but I chose two and I wasn't sure which one I was going to use. And I Penjied this one. So I used Penji to choose. That's something you guys can do is use your Penji to decide which deck is for you and where is your
Mhm.
message that day. I have his other deck. It's both of these decks are by James von Prague. This
Oh,
one's
no
called The
way.
Power of Love. So for this collective card reading, I ask that you guys, just think about a decision that you're trying to make, a situation that you're looking for clarity, some kind of emotion that you're experiencing or something you're going through in your life. Hopefully, this message will resonate with you. Okay, so a couple dropped, but this is the one that dropped on my lap. So this is the card.
Okay. Ooh, be of service.
Be of service. So let's see what that means. Okay. It says be of service. When you strive to empower and enrich the lives of others, you elevate the consciousness of this dimension. No good deed is too small. Acts of kindness and service are regarded in the spiritual realms as the loftiest of goals. To ease the suffering of another in any way, from charitable contributions to volunteer work, or something as simple as making someone's day brighter with a smile or a kind gesture. It is the greatest gift you can give to yourself. I always think of that, even like a compliment. If you see someone do something nice or wear something that you think is like cool, I think we actually all do that. You like we're all good at that, right? I've
Oh,
seen
it's
you
so
do it
fun.
too.
Yeah.
I've seen people compliment you a lot, and then I've seen you like give compliments, but something even just like a compliment. Um, Raising the energy of the planet by doing selfless deeds is a win-win for all concerned. By raising the vibration of others, you raise the vibration within yourself. Remember, above all else, you are here to leave this earth dimension better than how you found it. I love that.
I love that
Seek
too.
ways to make your mark. It's not possible to fix all the anguish in the world, but it's imperative that you don't create more. Oh, I like that actually. Be mindful of your thoughts, words, and deeds. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Love it. Ooh, that's
Yeah,
a good card.
that's a good card. I love that card.
That's a really good card. I feel like you said, we're all really good at that, but it's something too that like sometimes you might think, oh, that I don't need to compliment that person or I don't need to say something kind or they probably hear it all the time, but people hear it less than you think. And if you assume somebody kind of does or they've already been complimented, it's like I promise they probably haven't. And it always brightens people's day. Most of the time people are so surprised. Like if you point something out or you are kind or you have a good gesture or you compliment someone, like people are always very taken aback. I think nowadays too, because people are just more like to themselves or on their phones. So it's like even if it's someone you think, I'm not gonna. They probably hear it all the time. Compliment them. They probably don't hear it. Say something. I don't
I
know.
I'm going to say something about that voice. I always try to inspire you guys not to listen to that voice because I just feel like if you feel it, just do it and
Yeah.
it's not your job to figure out how the other person will feel or react. Like, you know what I mean? That's on them.
Yeah,
So
I
you
love
don't have
that.
to like pre-decide it.
That's a good point. Give it with no
Yeah.
expectations. No
And
expectations.
and no expectations and no controlling of the event.
Yeah, like you don't need them to respond a certain way, whatever. You're just
Yeah.
doing
Just
it.
follow the gut instinct.
When you're doing anything of service, kindness, compliments, anything, you do it without attachment to the outcome or their response. You're doing it just to be of service.
Yeah. Love it.
Mic drop. We're so good.
Mm.
Okay, so we'll be going into today's theme, which is something I'm very passionate about. We're going to be talking about how luxury is a mindset, not a tax bracket. Now, this is something mom taught me early on in life, and it's informed every single way that I show up in the world and every single habit that I have. So, this is going to be really, really fun.
I love that.
Okay,
Okay.
you have anything to add, or we jump right to it?
Yeah, jump right to it.
Okay, jump right into it. So, what does that mean? First of all, luxury is a mindset, not a tax bracket. When you hear the word luxury, I'm sure everyone has their own connotation, memory, attachment to what that could mean. But I think normally we think materialistic things. We think jewelry, designer handbags. We think whatever luxury means in that you were taught, right? But luxury is so much more than that. And especially we're seeing this more online now with people discussing like divine feminine and sacred spaces and energy. But luxury is the feeling. It's high quality moments. It's sensations. It's like presence and magic and like actually being present in things that you experience. And that is something you taught me really well. Every single thing we would do would always be from this place of we could take any experience and somehow make it so luxurious and like a moment to experience, even if it was just us, sitting outside eating like a little snack. You had the ability to make it like a moment.
Yeah, I that was so important to me because it was all about connection and it was all about feeling and I
Hmm.
cared how everybody felt when we were together. Like that time mattered and it was very precious. And when we talk about luxury, I think a lot of people think, oh, that's not for me. Like that's for other people or that's
That's
for people.
something that's something I don't have access to.
Yeah, that's something that other people do, or that's not my kind of life, or I didn't grow up that way, or I wasn't raised that way, or that's just something people do who are, wealthy and who are rich and things like that. And so I love the way you describe it because I think that that's what my intention was. I was really trying to make sure that things felt luxurious, and what does that mean, like to us? It's
Mhm.
like self-love, taking care of yourself, generosity, like time,
Intention.
presence, intention. It's like, and it's also about the, it's the opposite of the lack mindset, right? It's the
Hmm.
prosperity mindset, which is what I wanted to embrace and have all of us experience. So, for instance, I would hear, so many people would say, like, you hear kids at the store all the time. They're like, "Mommy, mommy, can I have a drink? Can I have this? Can I have that?" And people always say no. I always hear them say, "No, we can't afford it," or "No, it's too expensive," or "No, we can't, have that," or "That's for other people. We don't do that." And I thought to myself, there's what I figured out is that there's a way to do it, even if you think you can't do it.
Yeah.
So like that's what we would do. We would kind of like hack the system. So, say we were out and, everybody wanted a drink or everyone was thirsty, right? Like what you can do is you can get one drink, which is hard. I know, I get it. People don't like, people don't always agree on what they want and things like that. But I'm just saying when we say we can't, we take away our power. So we say, well, like, we can't have that, or we can't get it, or we can't afford it, right? So, like, what you could do is buy one and then get four little tiny cups, right,
Mhm.
from somewhere, and everybody splits it and everybody has a drink. And it's like finding the moments. How could you say yes? Like, how could you turn it into a yes instead of a no? And when you give your power away when you say we can't do that. So it would be even more mindful to teach a child or another human to say to them, I'm choosing not to.
Yeah. Or
Like,
like
you don't
not
even have to,
today. Not
yeah, you
today,
don't,
next time.
well, yeah, but just whatever. Like, I'm choosing not to, or,
Hmm.
I'm saving my money, or you don't even have to tell people that you're not, just say no, thank you, or something
Hmm.
like that. But I'm just saying it's, it's mindfulness, but it's knowing that you can have a little treat, and you can treat life in a luxurious way in just the
And
things that you do.
to do that, I want to add that the most important thing is presence because a lot of people Like we would go grocery shopping and it was a fun bonding moment of us all being together and talking, and we would always get a kombucha. That was our drink of
Well,
choice.
we sometimes, yeah, we would eat dinner and then we would shop, and we kind of made it into like a thing where everybody could learn about shopping and things like that and be
and
together.
and we look forward to getting a kombucha.
Yeah.
And but to do that, we had to be present and not rushing. A lot of times people go to the store and they're in a hurry. They're
Yeah, they
panicking,
have
they're
to,
rushing.
'cause yeah.
So, no, sometimes they don't have to. A lot of
That's
people.
just their
That's what
habit.
I'm saying. It's different. We've done that too. We've been in a hurry and had to run to the store for 5 minutes before dinner, but that's not what I'm talking about. There's this sense of like urgency and panic that people have in their bodies or nervous system. They think they have to like rush through everything. And a lot of people are scared of presence or being aware. And to access luxury in any tax bracket, you have to make space and be comfortable with being present and taking your time. Like the ability to even go through the store and push the cart and look around and be like, maybe I want a drink. Like I want to sip something. Like that requires you to be present in the moment of like experiencing how you feel and enjoying it. And that, yeah, I think it comes back to me, luxury comes back to presence. And everything we talk about today will all come back to like being present and enjoying whatever we added to make the moment
Yeah, and
luxurious.
to be honest with you, there's no rules. So somebody might say, "Well, I don't have time for that." And the truth is, you do have time. So, you know, we have to be mindful of our words. So like when we say I can't afford that or I can't do that, it's, we can say like I'm choosing not to buy that today because I'm going to buy this. I'm going to get this other thing. I mean, you're
Yeah.
clear, right? And then if you say I don't have time, you could say, well, I wonder how I could find time in my day to have a luxurious moment. Do you know what I'm saying? It's different than saying I can't and I'm too busy and you know what I mean? It's just all of these disempowering beliefs. But, even if you're like a really busy, parent or you have a really important job or anything like that, you can build in, I'm sure, 5 or 10 minutes to have luxurious moments. And what does
Hmm.
that look like? Maybe before you go into bed, instead of like rushing off to bed, leave an extra 10 minutes, and say, let's just sit at the table and have like a drink, water together before you go to bed. Like they always say kids always ask for water and they come out of their room. They're looking to connect. So if we build those moments of connection, right? And it feels like then time even feels like a luxury. And, one of the things I like, a quote that I heard when I was young, it said, create a life so beautiful that you wait, what's the word that you don't want to escape and take a vacation from it? Like you would create a beautiful life and take a vacation, but
Yeah,
not
not a
create a
life
life that
that
you
you.
just have like 1 or 2 weeks a year, filled with luxury. You can build those moments in, daily or weekly or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Can I give some examples of like things that we
Yes.
remembered? Okay. And I
Yeah.
love I love that you shared this actually because so, obviously I had two redheaded children who had, very light fair skin. And for a while we lived in Arizona too, and so sunscreen was a big deal for us when you guys were little. And we used to have this brand that we loved. We still use called California Baby
Hmm.
if we use sunscreen. And it was very thick, and so I kind of made it like a luxurious like massage parlor, I would have you guys lay down on like your pool, your pool towel or something like that or um and just relax and then I'd kind of like just pretend like I was doing like a massage and do like, you do your faces and do your little arms and your back. And I made sure that that felt luxurious because you would always remember that. And then you did. That was like one of the things that you remember is that we used to do that. So I could have just rushed through it and slathered it on you and things like that. But I wanted you to remember like my hands, like, kind of like, and that's what it felt like for you guys. I think you like enjoyed it and you know what I mean?
It did. I still remember. That's why I put it. It was one that I thought of. It's these little moments that you created of. I'm telling you, luxury. Like it felt like I was little. I didn't know. I don't remember the room that I was in. I don't remember the towel that we used. Like someone might say it's a cheap pool towel. I don't remember that. I remember you taking a moment and taking time to massage my sunscreen into my body and on my ears and like around my head. And I remember how good it felt. And I've always liked, when you like played with my hair or anything. So it felt so good. And that to me is an example of you showing us that it didn't require anything besides you having a little intentionality and presence, but it's the same sunscreen, it's the same pool towel. It was just a moment that you were creating.
Yeah. I remember Daddy and I during COVID, we always try to find a way to like have a luxurious moment or something like that, and we weren't sure what to do, and we were just like all home, and a lot of times people think if they want to make a drink, they have to have all these fancy ingredients, and they have to like everybody has a lot of rules, right? That's why I'm telling you to be like more open-minded and just it doesn't have to be perfect or like Pinterest perfect, but we had like like a sparkling water. And in the fridge, there was orange juice. So I was like, oh my God, we're making like virgin mimosas,
Mm-hmm.
and we just had that little moment, like just the middle afternoon, or you know what I mean? Like whenever it can be like at night. But it's just about sprinkling in those moments that, might seem luxurious and, not rushed
Yeah.
and feel really good. And then those are like the memories. Something else we used to do every time you guys came home, you in particular, you didn't like wearing socks ever. So if
I
you
forgot
wore,
about that.
do you remember that?
I now I do.
Okay, so uh, not to get TMI, but when we would get
Not TMI.
home,
Let's go.
okay.
Let's go. Let's unpack it.
When we would get home, we would take off your socks, and then you guys would get up on the counter, one by one, we did it, and you didn't like the toe fuzz. There was like fuzz stuck in between your toes, and you called it toe fuzz. So you were like, "Can we get off the toe fuzz?" And then I realized that it was like a two for one. I could soak your feet, which was very luxurious. I would fill the sink, and you guys would sit, and I would soak your feet with a little bit of bubbles, a little bit of water. So we would be like washing off the toe fuzz, but then we would be like, it was kind of a dual benefit because it helps relax you guys. It helped like ground your energy when we got home from being out and there were a lot of people around. And so it became like a tradition, and we did it
Mhm.
all the time.
And no stinky little toddler feet, sweaty
Yeah,
little.
exactly. Exactly. So
Um,
it was really cute. And I have another memory that involves your toes, but remember painting your nails?
yeah. I
And
still have
then,
you paint my nails.
yeah, sometimes I still do, but we used to like, paint your nails and then you would like lay and watch a movie and then like,
See,
just
guys, this is the benefit of having a mom who worked in a salon because every little thing is like, but
yeah.
I didn't work in a salon, but these are things that I learned from you that now I get to do too. So even if you didn't work in a salon, you can live this beauty.
Yeah, and think about luxury for all different senses, right? So there's luxury in like feeling, seeing, hearing, smelling, and so we would make essential oils and we would make special little recipes. Like I should have had the example actually. I'll have to show it next time, but I made you your own custom oil and I called it Galaxy oil and it was kind of like blue and it was really cool and so you could just make like a little oil and smell it or like if you do anything with oils I like to do sprays as well, and so when we talk about have a luxurious feeling, like you do a little spritz and if you feel like everyone's kind of stressed, you can just go spritz some, lavender or citrus or something like that, um, I'm just saying it's just yeah, it's just creating a feeling of comfort and and stealing those special moments that we can just have more frequently.
And
Um,
it's something that I think certain cultures do beautifully. I think it's something that we've kind of, as the world gets faster, it's easier to lose. So, I'm not saying people did it before because I know, like this, it's something newer for you too. But I think it's so much easier to not think about it as the world is speeding up or as we're also distracted. So you have to, it's like they keep saying, the biggest luxury now is going to be like your time, right? Because everywhere we're being distracted. So it's that. It's the biggest luxury is your time and your intentionality, and that is free. That doesn't like that is just how you choose to do anything. So like for
yeah.
me, I'll notice sometimes I'll do something more difficultly than it has to be. Like I will brush my teeth and I'm standing in a position that's uncomfortable. And I'll like wait a couple minutes and I'm like, why am I standing like this? Like I don't have to be doing this. Or I'll get out of my shower and I'm like drying myself with the towel, but I'm like balancing and I'm like try and then I'll literally like take a moment and be like, wait, I could just Like I can like I'm in a spa. Like this could be fine. Sometimes we make moments more stressful than they are. I think it's like a nervous system thing. There's a lot to unpack there, but it just reminds
Yeah.
me everything we're talking about that you can choose every moment to be like, okay, how do I want to show up in this moment? Like, how do I want this moment to feel? Like, do I want to, get out of the shower and rush and panic, or do I want to like, wait, I'm gonna rub a little lotion on. It's gonna smell really good. I'm gonna like, take a moment to sniff it, and it's every, like you said, including all the senses, but taking those
Yeah. Even now, it's really funny. You and I kind of like we're in competition because I still like to, like make your bath for you. Just do the bubbles and do the water and prep it and everything. And sometimes you're like, I'm gonna have a bath. And I'm like, I'll do it. And you're like, no, I'll do it. And I'm like, no, no, no. Like, I feel like it's so much more luxurious if I like make the bath for you, and then you go in there when it's all ready. And it's just, but that's what I'm saying.
I love when you do that.
We equate luxury with money, and I'm saying that that doesn't have to be like, totally true. Yes, some material things and material items will be, called luxury, and it'll be something that maybe is out of your, budget at the time or something like that. But we're just saying, creating a luxury lifestyle is more like creating luxurious moments and
Hmm.
luxurious feelings. And so, like you said, you remember like building a fort and and we made it luxurious by like bringing all the blankets and all the pillows and then making you popcorn and
And you had little battery powered candles and little fairy lights. So next thing you know, it's like it goes from fort to like full movie magical experience, fairy
yeah,
king
and we bought that once and we used that stuff for years.
for
Like
years.
a lot of people a lot of people will say that they, don't have money for things or they can't afford things, but we're saying there's so many ways to create and be creative without saying no and
Hmm.
coming up with an idea of how could you pull off something fun.
Absolutely. And might I add, it does not have to look the same for everybody. Like, I am the biggest Pinterestaholic there is, but these like moments that we're talking about, like it was just a random like brown blanket that we had from like my whole life. Like maybe it didn't look like the fort you look if you looked it up on Pinterest, but it's how it felt. It felt like luxury. It felt like comfort. So if you feel like, oh, I'm not somebody who like knows how to do that, or I don't know how to decorate things, or I don't know, I'm not it doesn't come natural to me. It's like, well, feeling good probably is something know how to do. So it doesn't have to look the same for everybody. This is something we've talked about before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. And we even talked about like, so we're just giving you ideas. We're trying to tell you where we think that we infuse it. Like, say we go get a coffee, but you and I decide to split it, or
Hmm.
like an organic matcha or something like that. And then we split it so that we're not spending money on two coffees or things like that. And then we go to like a pretty park and like,
Hmm.
have it at the park. And now I've had a lot of people always say to me, well, you have more time. Like you've had more time because you've homeschooled, and it's true. We have had more time. That's true. So we got a chance to practice and we got a chance to learn these things and then come on here and share it with you. That's true. And also, it wasn't just time that was supportive of us doing it. It was a choice. It was a lifestyle because you guys were just as busy. You guys took dance, gymnastics, art. You took all the classes,
No,
but
it's always a choice.
we still made time and made an effort. And it might feel a little different or new or something like that when you start to do it, but then you kind of get used to it and it becomes a luxurious lifestyle. And then maybe you just say, how can I add some luxury to my week? Like I'll do one thing this week, and we all have time for,
Yeah.
change and things like that. It's just a decision if we want to do it.
I also want to add one thing I learned early on, like bringing it back around to Jada, on Food Network was like some of the food and things that they would make, or if you go out or even online, I'll see people be like, oh my God, like this is so fancy, like I could never do that. Sometimes it's literally like they just bought like, for $2 a couple herbs and then they just put it on top of the food. And then you see that and you're like, wow, oh my God, fancy schmancy. But it's like it's just it's a couple dollars more and it's just an intention that someone had. They're
Yeah.
like, I just want it to look pretty. And that's something
Takes
that
effort.
yeah, that takes effort and people don't really do. but it's not really that out of your way. And if you want to experience a fancy schmancy little meal, you can. You want to
I
put
love that.
a little parsley over your avocado toast or your pasta, whatever it is. It's so accessible.
I
And
love that you guys are so good at that. Like cooking and making it look beautiful and taking the time to do it instead of like rushing through. And again, you guys, don't take it out of context. Maybe you'll see a clip. We're not talking about every moment of every day. We're just talking about kind of it becoming a habit and a
mhm.
lifestyle, and it's things that we infuse all the time. And
Yeah,
once
like
you have,
it's on 24/7.
right.
Sometimes I'm showering and I am drawing with the towel very quickly, and then I'm
Yeah.
taking and I'm shoving it on the, what's it
Yeah.
called? The hanger.
Yeah.
But it's just more moments of luxury, but also just my favorite thing that we pointed out is it's just something that anyone has access to. So it's not something you want all the time, but or even think about all the time, but if you are somebody who's thought to yourself, I want to be able to receive more luxury and feel these moments. It's accessible to you. It's possible.
Yeah, and a lot of people are really good at planning.
Mm-hmm.
So plan for it, just
And for it.
say, yeah, say 10 minutes a day. And, people in general, humans, kids, everyone, they'll remember 10 minutes a day of connection rather than no minutes ever because you're like too busy, and that 10 minutes will make such a difference.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
totally. Now we're gonna do check-in chat, our Q&A question of the week. And remember, if you have a question that you want to hear an answer from a more intuitive, mindful perspective, we are so excited to answer your questions. If you want to DM us, comment under this video, comment under any of our Instagram, anything, feel free to do that. So the question was, how do I pick which crystals to wear as jewelry? Because you might be building up a little collection or something, but sometimes when you buy jewelry, it's a piece you're going to wear all the time, right? So it's not, ideally, you'll have, more to choose from, but like me, I like to pick a piece and kind of stick with it. So how do you pick a crystal and commit to it and know like, okay, this is the one I'm going to wear?
It's a really good question. And it's so funny because it makes me think of the fact that I have some that I would wear all the time,
Mm-hmm.
every single time I would go out or something like that. And I just recently remember we went to a restaurant and I sat down and my crystal, like the Hulk, just busted open. It just broke like all over the floor, all over the
Mom
booth.
had one of those crystal bracelets that's like the little beads going all the way
Yeah.
around it, and it just
It just busted open like everywhere. So
pop.
interestingly enough, the reason I bring that up is because I was like, oh, I'm like, okay, well, maybe that energy was not resonating with me anymore. Maybe the string was too loose. I don't know, something like that,
Mhm.
too weak. But the way that we have always chose crystals is first you think about the different senses, right? Think about why you would want a crystal. Sometimes you want a crystal because you want to feel better. Sometimes you want it because it looks pretty. Sometimes you're attracted to that color. Sometimes when you're attracted to that color, it can be because you need help in that area, like perhaps that chakra
Ooh, that's a good
needs
point.
help or something like that. Yeah, like say you're really drawn to like this green crystal, maybe it's for your heart chakra. Maybe you're needing that energy. So first to pay attention to how you feel, what you're drawn to, what do you see, what like attracts your eye. And then beyond that, we really started to learn about crystals, but if you have a Penjie, right? Like if you're using your, Ask Penjie, you can, actually take the crystal and you can put it over, I mean, take Penjie and put it over the crystal. I have one here and
Mhm.
see, like, is this a good crystal for me? Is this something that I should buy? And then if you're at home, you can say, is this one that I should wear or carry with me today or something like that if it's not jewelry. So
I
I'm
love it.
glad.
And you can even do it over your phone or over like something you want to purchase or order online. You can use Penji over the purchase.
Yeah. So um, the reason that that's important is you were asking, like, how do you know which ones to wear and things like that, and like, could you wear one too long? And it's going to be all based on those variables. Like, is it still helping you? Do you still feel good wearing it? Like, and when you Penjie it, you say like, do I need to have a different crystal on, and or do I need to clean this crystal, or things like that. So, it's a really good question. And I want to make another comment. There's always kind of things I see online. Like lately, I've been seeing, I wear a lot of crystal bracelets, and a lot of people say that each hand brings a different energy, right? So if you wear the crystal bracelets on your left hand, then you are like you're attracting, you're bringing energy
Mm.
in to your body, to your life, to your energy field. If you're wearing it on your right hand, you're like giving it out. You're like expelling it towards someone. So a lot of times people wear like protective bracelets on the right side, right? Because they're protecting from energy that they're encountering. And so you might wear like tiger's eye or black tourmaline or something like that, like on on the right, and then on the left, maybe you have like rose quartz or, some different kind of like clear quartz, amethyst. Like I don't know why I'm looking at my wrist when I'm doing it. I don't have bracelets on, but I'm imagining the bracelets. But I want you to always keep in mind the reason you have Penjie is because I would prefer that you do not see something online and say, oh, I can't wear that crystal bracelet on that hand, or I can't wear that crystal necklace for that many days in a row. There is no truth to any of that because the only thing that applies is how it affects you and your life. So you would use Penjie and you would ask, is it still in my highest benefit to wear this crystal? Is it helping me? Is it taking care of my energy? Like
Hmm.
things like that. So that's such a good question. I hope that
Such a good
answers it.
question. Yeah, and don't underestimate your power to be attracted to things as your intuition, like mom said, like the color you're drawn to, or if you feel called to wear it on your left hand, like there's all energetic reasons. Sometimes you just thinking it like looks better on there could be a subconscious energy of you knowing it should be there, or that's the one you're drawn to. So I love that. That was a good answer for a good question. So now we'll go into Crystal of the Week.
Crystal of the week. Okay, so the crystal of the week is this beautiful brownish goldish, goldish stone called smoky quartz. So it's kind of like clear quartz. It's in the quartz family. It's a very good grounding root chakra. Quartz help you to feel safe and ground your energy. It says that it also clears and transmutes negative energies. It's a very good crystal for manifestation.
Love.
Yeah, it's a very good crystal for manifestation. So if that's, something that you're working on or something like that. Also, we've learned about EMFs. We've learned about like, electromagnetic smog, they call it. So like, if we have our phones on us a lot or we sleep next to our laptop or have a computer in the room, smoky quartz is really good for that. Um,
EMFs is electric magnetic fields, right?
yeah.
So
And
it's the
that
energy.
that's like all our technology, all of our phones, all of our iPads, the TVs, so
Hmm.
it sends off microwave like signals and it radiation and all sorts of stuff. And that's a whole nother topic for another day. But so it's a good crystal for that to kind of like neutralize the air and things like that. It's good for clearing the mind, meditation. Some people like to bring it to like a hospital if they're getting like a treatment or something like that or getting care. Um, yeah, so it's also really good for headaches.
Ooh, very cool.
Yeah,
I really like it. I feel like it's a very elegant stone. Every time I
yeah,
look at it, it feels very luxurious.
it's beautiful.
Bringing it back to the theme.
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like,
You're
yes.
like, you took a second. You're like, oh,
I didn't catch you
luxury.
like tie it together like that. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, well, once again, everybody, remember to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you're listening to audio only. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all the things at Ask Penjie, and go to askpenjie.com and drop your email so that we are up to date on all the good things. But even though we're still building our website and it's still all coming up, we do have Penjies available and Ask Penjie Society. So if you want to DM us and you're interested or your email, we're ready to go and you could enter our beautiful community and learn all about accessing your intuition. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode, and we'll see you next week on Mystic Like My Mama.
Bye.
Bye, you guys.